Have you ever given thought on how former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi's relation with RSS might have looked like? Were they on good terms or were they enemies just like what today's Congress and right-wing relation looks like? Hello, I'm your host Amina Ansari and I welcome you all to the first episode of our Politics and Politicians show. Today, I'll tell you about Indira Gandhi's relation with Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh RSS. Let's begin this story. Books reveal that Indira Gandhi had good relations with many of the leaders of RSS. However, she kept a personal distance from the organization. The book titled How Prime Ministers Decide by journalist Neerja Chaudhary tells that RSS leaders approached Indira Gandhi for help and in turn Indira Gandhi used this link with RSS for her own purpose. A close aide of Indira Gandhi, Anil Bali, had revealed that it was the RSS which helped Indira Gandhi return to power during the 1980 general elections. However, Indira Gandhi never publicly acknowledged it. In the same year, that is 1980, Indira Gandhi had made a private donation of rupees 11,000 to a memorial fund in the name of Veer Savarkar. In 1970, Indira Gandhi had released a postage stamp in honor of Savarkar's birth anniversary. Also, on orders of Indira Gandhi, a documentary was produced on Veer Savarkar. Mr. Bali, the close aide of Indira Gandhi, says that Indira Gandhi privately accepted that she could have not won 353 seats if the RSS had not supported her. In the 1980 Lok Sabha polls, Indira Gandhi had won more seats than that of 1971 polls. Then RSS chief Bala Saheb Deoras had commented in a discussion that Indira Gandhi is a great Hindu. Plus, RSS took note of the frequent visits to temples. After the creation of Bangladesh, RSS had praised Indira Gandhi for creating a new nation out of Pakistan and weakening Pakistan. During the times of emergency, RSS maintained friendly relations with Indira Gandhi. RSS chief Bala Saheb Deoras had written to Indira Gandhi several times. However, during the emergency, Indira Gandhi had to be careful while responding to RSS. After RSS approached her for help, she used RSS for her own purpose by making sure that her distance with the organization is maintained publicly. She had managed to get support from the RSS during the times of emergency. Indira Gandhi was aware that now even the Muslims were unhappy about Congress during the emergency. So, Indira Gandhi decided to Hinduize her political strategies, thinking that RSS neutral stance towards her might help. When most of the leaders were jailed during the times of emergency, RSS chief Bala Saheb was released from jail after a short spell. Indira Gandhi's father and the first Prime Minister Pandit Nehru was never in satisfied terms with RSS. RSS was banned by Nehru government after Mahatma Gandhi's death, but a year later the ban was lifted. At the time of ban, Nehru had said that they had enough of RSS. Nehru had called RSS having a blood of Mahatma Gandhi on their hands. After this ban was lifted, its head Govalkar had agreed to profess loyalty to the Indian Constitution and the national flag of India. He had also promised to restrict the Sangh's activities in the country. However, Vallabhbhai Patel still had mixed feelings about RSS. Ramchand Guha in his book India After Gandhi tells that Nehru saw the RSS as the greater of the two threats. Others in his government, notably Vallabhbhai Patel, disagreed. An article from the year 2000 by BJP leader Subramaniam Swamy titled Unlearned Lessons from the Emergency published on the Hindu news portal reveals the exchange of talks between RSS and Indira Gandhi during the times of emergency. The article reveals that Atal Bihari Vajpayee wrote apology letters to Indira Gandhi during the times when most of the opposition leaders were jailed. Vajpayee was out on parole after having a written assurance that he would not participate in any programs against Indira Gandhi's government. Subramaniam Swamy in his article reveals that RSS made the decision to sign a document declaring full and open support to Indira Gandhi's emergency. But RSS had a good fortune that Indira Gandhi had withdrawn the emergency before RSS could officially sign the surrender document. When the emergency was declared, a senior RSS leader, Madhav Rao Mule, was assigned the task of carrying out RSS activities without opposing the government, while another leader, of RSS, Eknath Ranade, was asked to reach the agreement with the government. Subramaniam Swamy was advised by RSS leader Madhav Rao Mole to stop his efforts of garnering support for the anti-emergency movement just because RSS had finalized to surrender during emergency. It is often said that it was Vinoba Bhave, the disciple of Mahatma Gandhi, who softened Indira Gandhi's attitude towards RSS. The more important thing to know here is that Balasaheb Devaraj wrote a letter to Vinoba Bhave. In his letter, he pleaded with him to persuade Indira Gandhi to consider his release during the emergency period. These letters are attached in a book written by Devaraj himself titled Hindu Sangathan or Satyavadi Rajniti in Hindi. Let's talk about these letters of Devaraj to Indira Gandhi during emergency period. In his first letter dated August 22, 1975, Devaraj had praised Indira Gandhi for her 15th August speech, when she had received backlash and criticism for her speech. RSS chief Devaraj in his letter had assured Indira Gandhi that RSS was trying to build an organization of Hindus but was never against her government. In his letter, he was seeking an end to the ban on RSS and not to the emergency. In his second letter dated November 10, 1975, Devaraj congratulated Indira Gandhi on the Supreme Court victory. Throughout the letter, Devaraj was trying to convince Indira Gandhi that RSS was not against emergency or her government. After Indira Gandhi ignored this second letter of Devaraj too, he, in his third letter dated February 22, 1976, begged Vinoba Bhave to persuade Indira Gandhi to lift the ban on RSS. He promised that if this happens, then Sanghs will participate in country's progress and prosperity under the leadership of Indira Gandhi. After Indira Gandhi returned to power, she rejected many of her previous socialist secular policies. It is said that she even began to implement the RSS agenda, and Sara Sangh Chalak declared this when Indira Gandhi was implementing this agenda daringly. RSS in return paid its debt to Indira Gandhi by participating in anti-Sikh carnage after her assassination. So, this was the story of Indira Gandhi's relations with RSS. I hope you liked our first episode of Politics and Politicians. We will bring to you more unheard stories of politicians. Till then, keep watching SW News English. Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.